empathy? Yes, but what does that mean tangibly? What do you want them to do when you say that?
Feel sorry.
Feel sorry? So let me ask you, have you ever been told that someone's grandma died to your face? How do you feel? How do you react to that?
Feel like, are you okay?
Kind of like that, right?
Yeah.
But do you have any connection to it?
Not that much.
No, right? You might feel sorry for them, sorry for their loss, but you have no emotional weight tied into their story. So do you want to hear about their grandma's life story and what their grandma was like and all that?
No.
No. So if your emotions are not related to the story or they're not tied into the story, nobody cares. But how do we make someone care? That is the idea. That is what the hook is supposed to do. How do we make someone care?
Related to the reader.
Yeah. What are the things that make you want to listen?
If it is related to mine.
Related to you, right? But what emotions? What emotions are associated with that? What emotions are related to something that we pay attention to or care about? Maybe joy? You think joy is the particular emotion that makes you interested in something?
Maybe.
So if someone tells you about their favorite dessert place that has your favorite dessert, are you happy? Do you want to listen about that story?
Kind of.
Kind of. What about anger? Will anger do that?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Why would anger make you want to listen?
If that anger is from the experience or a story that might that actually also happened similar to me, then that's connection so that I want to listen.
So if I told you you're doing something wrong, you'd be upset about it, right? And so what would you say?
No, I'm doing right.
Okay, that's exactly what you would say, right? So think about social media. Okay, do you use social media? Okay, Instagram things. You are playing this character wrong on Valorant. No, I'm not. I'm playing it plenty fine. How dare you say that? Right? So you feel a little bit upset that they say this. So then what do you watch? You want to think about what their reasoning of saying that you're doing something wrong is, right? Or you might question why. Why do they say that I'm doing it wrong? Am I doing something wrong? Do you guys understand?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's an emotion tied to the reader or the watcher. And what emotion is tied into it dictates how much someone generates interest into something, right? Lukewarm feelings does not produce strong stories, right? If you just say, the time that I did my best and I was able to succeed, it's a very boring story, yes? Not that the story is bad, but it's lukewarm. There's no reason to, right? Now, if you take water, right? You heat up water, it's boiling hot. You touch it, you go, ouch, and you don't touch it anymore, right?
Yeah.
And if you put your hand in really cold water, you go pull it out as well, right?
Yeah.
It's that shock factor. That shock factor is needed in writing, right? And we use emotions as an example. So how do we tie someone's emotions into the writing? How do we get the reader to stay? What do you think? What do you think, Carlos? How do we get someone to stay on our story? What do you think?
Describe the emotions vividly.
Yes, we can, but being more descriptive or vividly over something that doesn't quite elicit emotion is quite difficult. Here's one. Make them question. So confuse them. How do we confuse a writer or a reader?
Write random.
A random thought, something like that. Like for example, did you know bunnies are eaten in many different countries? It's kind of boring fun fact, right?
Yeah.
But how can we make it more how do we make people interested in learning more about why bunnies are eaten as a food source in other countries? What is a way that we can give shock, like anger?
So what?
How do we make someone feel anger for the fact that people are eating rabbits as food in many different countries?
Like, use emotion.
How do we elicit that
Pathos.
anger? How do we elicit that emotion?
Imagine a bunny being boiled in hot water, alive.
Scream! This is the sound of a bunny being slaughtered in front of me when I was 5 years old.
Boom.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What did that feeling that you just got? It's kind of
Shock.
repulsive, right?
Yeah.
Shocking. It's like, whoa, what just happened? Now you want to read on what happened. Does that make sense? So a good hook will give us an emotion, or it'll give us a question. Now, when I say it gives us a question, I don't mean you're asking them a question. So it's not like, what is the meaning of life? I never knew what this meaning was until I was 5 years old when I was asking a question to my parents. It's very boring, very lukewarm. So how do we make them question something? How do we make someone question something that they're reading? What do you guys think?
How to question?
Yeah. Make them question or wonder about something.